Hi guys, thank you for joining me today for Marvellous Maths. I hope you've been having some fun in the lovely weather that we're having outside, but I hope you're ready to settle down and do a little bit of maths with me today before getting back out in the garden. So today we're going to do some multiplication word problems using what we learned last time with me in multiplication. So let's warm up our brains with the Flashback 4. So let's get those maths brains ready, pencil and paper on hand. Here we go with our Flashback 4 today. Pause the video while you have a go at these addition, subtraction, doubling and halving questions. Shall we have a look at the answers then, guys? Let's work through them together and see what you've remembered from our previous videos. So the first one then, we've got column addition, 63 add 27. So we always start with our ones column. So first of all, we need to label our columns to know which is our tens and which is our ones. So we're going to start with our ones column. We've got a 3 add 7. So 3 is my starting number, 3 goes in my head and 7 on my fingers. And we're going to count on, ready, stop, stop, go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3 out of 7 is 10. So I can put my 0 from my 10 in my ones column. And then I have to carry the 1 from my 10 down here. Okay? Because 10 has 1 in the tens column and 0 in the ones column. So I put my 0 here in the ones column and I carry my 10 into the tens column. Okay, so now I can move on to my tens column where I've got 6 add 2. So 6 goes in my head and 2 on my fingers, and count on with me. Ready, stop, stop, go. 7, 8. But don't forget, we need to add our 1 down here. 1 more than 8 is 9. So 9 goes in my tens column. Good job if you got 90 as your answer for 63 add 27. So now we can move on to this column subtraction. So we've got a 3-digit number take away a 2-digit number. Let's start by labelling our columns. Which column is this? This is our hundreds column. Good job if you got that. Then we've got our tens column, and finally our ones column. And we always start with the ones column. So we've got 2 take away 1. 2 is my starting number, 2 in my head and 1 on my fingers, or I can just do 1 less than 2, which is 1. So 1 is my answer in my ones column. And now I can move on to my tens column. So I've got 0 take away 6, but uh-oh, we've got a problem here. My starting number is smaller than my counting number, and that is a problem because I can't take a bigger number away from a smaller number, so I have to knock next door. Once I've knocked next door, I take 1 from there and make it 1 less. So what's 1 less than 1? Nothing, absolutely, it's 0. 0 is 1 less than 1, and I can take that 1 and put it in my tens column. So now I've got 10 take away 6. We can do that. Are we ready? 10 in my head and 6 on my fingers, and count back. Ready, stop, stop, go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 10 take away 6 is 4. Well done if you used your knowledge of number bonds to tell you that 10 take away 6 is 4, because 6 add 4 is 10. So we could have used the inverse operation there. So 102 take away 61 is 41. Awesome job if you got that one correct as well. Okay, now we can use our doubling ladybird to find double 38. Double 38 is 76. Awesome job if you got that one right. And half of 46 using your halving butterfly. Let's see if you got this one right. It is 23. Fantastic work if you got 4 out of 4 on our Flashback 4 today. So let's have a look at our learning intention. Well, last time we were looking at different methods to do multiplication problems. So today we're going to apply our understanding of multiplication to solve word problems, and we're going to continue to use repeated addition and arrays to solve multiplication word problems. So the first thing that we need to check is what you can remember about the method we use to solve word problems. And I've put a clue on the screen. Pause the video while you write down all of the words that make up the acronym Rucksack. See if you can remember all the stages of solving a word problem using Rucksack. How did you get on? Did you remember them all? It gets a bit confusing when we've got two C's. So let's have a look at what Rucksack stands for. So the first thing we do when we're faced with a word problem is read. We read the word problem, we read the question. Then we have to underline. Now we don't underline the whole thing, we underline the important information. Now normally the important information in a maths word problem will be the numbers, but sometimes there are some key words in the word problem to help us with the next step. And the next step is to choose. Now we're not going to choose what we're going to wear for the day or choose what we're going to have for lunch. We need to choose which operation we're going to use. Are we going to add? Are we going to take away? Are we going to divide? Or are we going to multiply? Now today's lesson is all about multiplication word problems, so we won't have to choose our operation today, but it is important to remember that the C in Rucksack here is choose. Then we move on to solve. We have to use what we know about different methods to solve the question. Then we can write down our answer, and finally the most important step is to check our answer and check we haven't made any silly mistakes. So here we go, I've got a word problem then. Can you remember what the first thing we have to do is with Rucksack? Let's have a look. Where's Rucksack to help us? Here we go, so the first thing is read. So let's read it together. I have 3 5p coins in my purse. How much money do I have all together? Okay, so I've got 3 5p coins in my purse. How much money do I have all together? Let's have a go at underlining the important information. Now, I told you that the important information in maths word problems are often any numbers. So it's important to know that we've got 3 lots of 5p coins. Now, you must remember that we're dealing with money here. So our answer is going to need to have p on it. It's going to need to have pence. So I have 3 5p coins in my purse. The fact that they're in the purse isn't important. How much money do I have all together? Now we always underlined all together when we were doing our addition word problems as well. So when we have the word all together, it suggests we're going to put numbers together. So we could be adding or we could be multiplying. Now I could read this question as I have 3 lots of 5p coins, which suggests that we're going to multiply, because I said that the times sign, when we see that, we can say lots of or groups of. So now we can solve it. Here we go. Here's my 3 5p coins. I'm going to just cover that bit up for now. We've got 1, 2, 3, and I've written that out as repeated addition. We've got 5p, add 5p, add 5p. Let's use our addition to find the answer then. 5 in my head, add 5, ready? We can use our number bonds and we know that 5 add 5 is 10, or you could have counted on. Now that we've got 10, we can count on another 5 for our third lot of 5. Ready? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've got 15, what? 15p. There we go, 15p. Or we could use an array to help us. Now, here I've written the number sentence as a multiplication. Here we've used repeated addition, and here is a multiplication. I've got 3 lots of 5. 3 lots of 5p. So I've got 3 groups of 5. 5, add 5, add 5. Now I could count up all of my circles, Or I could use my knowledge of counting in fives to help me. So let's count in fives for each of these lots of 5. Are we ready? Stop, stop, go. 5, 10, 15. So 3 times 5 is 15. And we have to remember, because we're dealing with money, it's 15p is my answer. There we go. So I've written my answer. Now I need to check it. Now what you could do is use one method to solve it and then use the other method to check. But because we had a go at using both methods, let's just double check. Let's count up our dots. We've got 5, 10, 15, absolutely. And you can do your addition again. It's definitely 15p. Awesome job. Okay, let's have a go at the next question. Here we go then, here's your next word problem. Let me pop Rucksack on the screen to help you. There's your method. You can pause the screen while you have a go and then we'll go through it together afterwards. Okay, so let's do the first step of Rucksack. We read it. 4 groups of children are on a school trip. There are 10 children in each group. How many children are there on the school trip? Okay, so let's now underline. So the important information in here, we've got 4 groups of. That's going to tell us that it's multiplication in a moment when we get to choose, because we've got lots of or groups of. 4 groups of children are on a school trip. There are 10 children in each group. How many children are on the school trip? So we need to know how many there are all together, and we've got 4 groups of 10. So when we choose, we know we're going to be multiplying. So let's have a look at how we can solve it then. We can use our repeated addition to solve. So I've got 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, with 10 children in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10, add 10, add 10, add 10. 10 add 10 add 10 add 10 equals 40. Well done if you got that. So we should have 40 children altogether. So there's my answer. Now I need to check. Let's have a look at how we could check it. We can use an array to help us check it. We've got 4 lots of 10, 4 groups of 10, 4 times 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's use our counting in tens to count all these circles up then. Ready? Stop, stop, go. 10, 20, 30, 40. So we were right. 4 lots of 10, 4 times 10 is 40. So definitely 40 children on the school trip. Okay then, now's your next turn to have a go. Pause the video while you have a go at this word problem. Okay, so let's use Rucksack to help us then. We've got to read the problem first. In a relay race, 4 children swim 2 lengths each. How many lengths are swum all together? Okay, let's get our pencil out then and underline the important parts. It doesn't matter that it's a relay race, that's not important to my maths, but it is important to know that there are 4 children and they each swim 2 lengths. And then we've got how many are swum all together. So we know we're going to be putting numbers together. We're either going to be adding or multiplying, and we know we're going to multiply today. So let's solve. Let's solve first of all using repeated addition. We've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, lots of 2, because each child of the 4 children swam 2 lengths each. 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. So 2 more than 2, 3, 4, add another 2, 5, 6, add another 2, 7, 8. So there were 8 lengths swum all together. So now we've answered it, we need to check. Let's check using an array. So here's my number sentence written again as a multiplication. We've got 4 times 2. 4, lots of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, lots of 1, 2. So we can use our knowledge of counting in twos now to count all these dots up. Are we ready? Count in twos with me. Stop, stop, go. 2, 4, 6, 8. Fantastic! When we checked, our answer was the same. It was still 8. That's not the best 8 I've ever written. You'll have to forgive me because I'm using my mouse on my laptop. So 4 times 2 is 8. Brilliant job. Next one then. Pause the video while you have a go at this word problem. Shall we have a look? Okay, let's start off with our repeated addition. So we're going to read how many toes are there on 5 children. Now we need to underline the important information. So we're going to look for the numbers first. 5. Now we've got a problem. There's only one number in my word problem. But we know we're dealing with toes. Now how many toes do you have on your feet? I don't know about you, but I've got 10 toes. So we know we're going to be looking for 5 lots of 10 because all the children will have 10 toes. So if we're looking for lots of, we know we need to choose multiplication. So let's solve. Let's use our repeated addition. We've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lots of 10 toes. 10, add 10, add 10, add 10, add 10. So when we add all of those up, you should have got 50. Good job if you got that one right. But we've answered it. Now we need to check. So we can check using our array. So we've got 5 times 10. 5 groups of 10 or 5 lots of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, add 10, add 10, add 10, add 10. Fantastic. So we need to count up all the circles now to find our answer. But we don't need to count them all up individually because we can use our knowledge of counting in tens to find the answer. So are we ready? Count each group of 10. Stop, stop, go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 5 times 10 is 50. Brilliant job if you got that one right. Okay, so now I'm going to try and challenge you and leave you with this challenge over half term until my next video. All of our word problems so far have been using your knowledge of counting in 2s, 5s or 10s. This one is going to be a little bit trickier for you. So you can pause the video now while you answer this if you want, or once the video is finished, you can do it as a little bit of homework before the next Marvellous Maths video. So have a go at using Rucksack to solve that word problem and keep your answer nice and safe because we'll check it in one of our next Marvellous Maths videos. So guys, thank you again for joining me today for Marvellous Maths. You've worked really, really hard and there's been lots and lots of work for you to do in today's video. Enjoy the weather outside, have a wonderful half term and I will see you soon. Stay safe. Bye guys.